like the 3/4, but I'm more like realistic, a little bit more cartoon too. So when I go more like control the line, because I know, this is where the eyes are, like dips in, like this, our eyebrow sticks out here, and then cheekbone. So when we look from the 3/4, we have this like, then the chin, and then jawline here. From the front, I also construct. I'm more like constructing, my sketch. So I also construct. So I usually start with the sides and then build up the head. For me, the head should always be, I like it when it's a bit long, and I like to have the chin a bit more pronounced. And then, if we want to do the neck, so it takes a little bit of, because the neck has to go a bit thinner here, otherwise it looks like a big, and that's the difference to men, when we do men, we can get away with more neck, and also we make it a little bit more angled at first. We start very like, and then we can do more neck, for a guy it looks cool to have like a big neck, And then I like to connect to the shoulder. No, it's very big, it's a bit too much. And I like to come from this also anatomical, like we have this bone, which I really like, so I always sketch it. And then we have this muscle which goes into this bone here, like this shape, like here. And then we have the shoulder, which comes like this. And then you get this shoulder that drops, because this is a muscle. So but I also had like biology as like my advanced course in high school. And then like the joints, But she's also like getting very masculine. I did a lot of shoulders, so we can make it a bit shorter. And then I was showing the others, like I really construct. So also the eyes, When we put them in the middle of the face, it's kind of like normal. When we put them, for example, lower, we get what is called the baby doll effect. We have like more here. And if we put them higher, if we put them here, we make people look older. Like when we have high eyes and they're kind of this long face, and baby have kind of short here and then the eyes low and the very big forehead. And that's what we usually like, us people, like we like to look at cute things. And then the distance between the eyes should be kind of approximately one eye again. The bigger, the more fashion and a bit creepy, And like one thing about fashion illustration, we actually don't want it to be happy, happy, cute, cute, because that's kind of kiddie style. So we try to make them always a bit fierce, a bit dark, a bit scary maybe even, So it looks more like chic. And then for me, like eyes are sometimes already enough, just to give kind of like, we want it a bit evil, so we put them a little bit on an angle, and we already have some kind of like eye moment. Yes, we can throw in lip, so the nose should be kind of like halfway between eyes and chin, and then the lips kind of like in between that, the mouth. And then the eyes are kind of the same level as ears. Can be even a little bit lower. So this eye is wonky. But that's also what I said, like from left to right, like it's always a bit different. The ears. And then, throw in some hair. Oh, now the eyes are really bad. I'm half blind and I'm wearing my old glasses. But it's also like what kind of look we like. I always go for this kind of manga, almost realistic at some point. Like when I put color, I make it usually very like shaded and very like 3D kind of looking. But I always come from this like very cute manga because I used to like Asian cartoon a lot. But that's like muscle memory, when you always draw in kind of a style, it's in your hand. It's very hard to get it out. But everybody can learn how to get the form, how to like make kind of the nice like head shape, like without kind of going first like, you know, like you can train your hands. So you really have to repeat. And then what I showed the others also, how I draw the body. I really like to construct it as well. And I have my little like kind of, I start with shoulder normally. Why? Because the shoulder gives us a very good idea where to put it and how much space we need. Like, I still have some room now to kind of like mark the head. And now I can do like the hip. And I can play a little bit. You know, I don't have to make them straight. I can like move them around to get some energy. And then the legs, you know, I can put them somewhere. It looks very silly first.
What is like in YouTube when they teach. They teach from the line first.
And yeah, and I don't know if this is 9 head. It probably, you know, probably even 12 or something. It really depends on how big you make the head too. You know, you can start from a normal figure and just make the head small, you know. But many models actually have a very small head. It's weird. Like, have you ever seen Mario Mora, like the Thai actor in real? He's so tiny. Like, he's a little bit shorter than me. And his face is just this size, you know. It's like a really small children face, you know. That's why they look kind of big and tall sometimes, you know, because they're very small head. And then, yeah, I like to construct kind of a bit geometrical, you know. So we have like a neck, shoulder, we have these muscles here, the joints, you know, shoulder joint, then like a rib cage, and I try to draw it a little bit like anatomy too. This is like the hip bone is kind of like this big butterfly sort of 8 thing. And then we also know, you know, this is now the waistline. So this is also where the elbows are. And then when you check on yourself, the wrist is kind of like crotch level, a little bit lower. So we know that too. So the wrist should be like kind of there. This is just the bone, so the real crotch more like here. And then we have hands. You know, like step by step, everything in our body is kind of related to each other. You know, like these shapes, they don't happen by accident. That's why also in the pattern we can use these weird like 1/4 of this, 1/8 of that, you know, because all of our proportions somehow relate to each other. Especially like if you're not sure where to put, you can also start with the waist and the hip, because it's kind of in the middle of it all, you know. But we tend to make the legs longer to get this like fairy tale model look, you know, with super long legs. So here we can really like kind of pull it, you know. And then, yeah, add some flesh, volume. Then you have to know a little bit about the anatomy. For example, when you look at your leg, you see the shapes in the leg, like straight line, and then it curves here. It curves out. It curves out a bit. Curve in, curve out. Yeah, we're all curves, you know. So in theory, it looks like we have a little bit this muscle here. We have a little bit this muscle kind of here. This is slightly round, slightly round. What you got there? Oh, copy. You know, that's how we like slowly build it up. And usually I do this once before I design the collection. I make my own croquis. So kind of like fresh start each time. I like to design the croquis matching to like the look and feel, you know. If it's winter collection and it's just coats, I don't have to pay much attention, you know. If it's summer stuff and I can see more skin, I put a bit more detail. Nowadays I do it in the iPad, you know, like I make this by hand first, take a photo, make it nice in Procreate, and then in the iPad I sketch the clothes. That's like the modern style, you know. And for shoes, sometimes enough just to put like the kind of slight idea. And yeah, build it up, build it up. Me personally, I think the coolest pose is usually straight. I'm not into kind of like I like it just like kind of catalog from like Acne Studios or something, where everybody's just standing like this and it's like like a nice straight pose, and you can see everything, you know.
How about when you draw with dress? Like full dress? How will it
I
look
usually
like?
start like this,
And
just so I
afterwards-
have my proportions already. Well, you can like, this is very heavy, but maybe we can see, well, we can see it through, right? So just give the, and now I clean it up too. I don't do all the,
ไฟนอน10 ตัวพี่ก็ทำอย่างเงี้ย
I try to like kind of give the light line. By doing it like this, we change the croquis every time a little bit, which can be cool too, because then you get it like unique look again, you know. But now I don't have to worry too much about the proportions because they're all here. And I can like work out the detail. After now I have my body, right? And now I can just like go on and like whatever, you know, design my dress. Whatever we want to do. And like find nice curves, you know, like good kind of like
like pattern
yeah.
nice curve
โซบี้ดูเป็นไปได้มากกว่าสวยอ่ะ
possibility เนาะ
No, put some like cool dot. Whatever.
Aj.Tobi
What? Some dot?
nice curve
No, what is very important, like, we can also use this, like, think about the fabric. Make the fabric.
don't force the fabric
Yeah. Make it, no, but also make it
fabric.
visual in a way, you know. But this is a bit more advanced, I know. But imagine there's wind blowing from this way, right? So if this is a very light kind of like floaty skirt, I want to make it look light and floaty. You know, like the wind just kind of touched it and it's blowing it like. Then it's like, okay, how do we do like kind of wavy, drapey things? So we start with a wavy, drapey line, and then we have to make these kind of connections, you know, like where did the drape come from? It's very easy, see? And then we have to think like, I have like the light shining from here. If we want to make it even more, no, but look, there's like then a shadow under,
เนี่ยยาก
แสง
you know, and a bit shadow here and a bit shadow here, and that's how we build it kind of to be a bit more 3D.
โคกี้ proportion
But anyway, you're supposed to focus on the face. But this kind of thing can also try with hair, you know, like if we have like a.
ชอบใส่เส้นโทบี้จัง
Let's do a bit also this like.
คือไทยเคดูเหมือนโกรธอะโกรธแล้วแบบกึก
I don't know. Yeah, no, but he's doing very French style. No, but when I was like young, I already like read like Mickey Mouse. So first Mickey Mouse, so I was drawing just like Mickey Mouse, you know. Already when I was like just 6, you know, I could do like perfect Mickey Mouse all the time. And then like, you know, whatever, you know, and then take it from there. But like, you know, like kind of Takeshi, like also, you know, like we work with kind of the like some movement.
อยู่อนุบาลว่า
And now I used up cats.
it's okay
Yeah, do another one. Because this line is too much. So the same, but what I actually used to do, I used to do this pose all the time. But then I would also do like kind of shoulder here so it looks like that.
okay
You know, like one shoulder like down, one shoulder up, like, and you get kind of like. But the idea, the principle behind it is the same. You know, we have the head, we have the neck, but the neck is a little bit different because it comes from the side. And we have maybe our shoulder line and then the muscle the muscle. So now we have the 3/4.
Anyone can draw the
3/4 view, and then the eyes,
like open.
nose, ear. It's like slightly from the side now. And then we have muscle here, here, and then the collarbone runs like kind of this. But from this, it's always kind of hard to make the full body because it's kind of turn on the front, and then do we turn the body back or leave it on the side?
This look like you, man. The way you draw will be more like.
But then I like, yeah, and then the details need kind of like some working here, working out.
ใช่พวกแกบอกแล้วว่าถ้าว่าส่วนหน้าได้
And then, I mean, smile is also a bit more difficult because you have to, you know, if we want to make the face smile, the important part is like the eyes have to go
อ๋อนึกว่าตีนกา
up and here a bit. But not too much, otherwise it looks like creepy. We can do kind of like nit noi, you know, kind of like this, you know. This is a bit more happy face.
happy face yeah
Slightly.
Doesn't have to smile but has to be happy I
เหมือน
mean
ได้กลิ่นอะไร
not happy not too bad
Content.
แค่ยิ้มแบบเนี้ย
Like okay with it. Yeah. Okay.
เซ็กซี่
Very
ยิ้ม
big
อ่อน
lip.
ยิ้มอ่อน
Maybe less lip.
Yeah, sometimes we study, the idea is very straight, right? We need to draw a smart face.
Cheekbones.
ค่ะ
สิว่ายังไง
Can also
มันเป็นส
like,
ไตล์เขาอะ
you know, can play.
แต่ว่ามันต้องเข้าใจ
But it really helps to study kind of
ก็เข้าใจ
anatomy and proportion.
Right.
At home I also like to sculpt. You know, I do sculpture.